Hi guys, Noah here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about 007 James Bond First Light. Now, this video, I'm gonna be speculating what I want in this game, right? So, if you guys haven't heard about this game, I told you guys, like, this week, especially this week, is gonna be a lot of video game coverage because Summer Game Fest is on Friday. Then we have the Xbox Game Showcase on Sunday, and then we have the Hideo Kojima and Jeff Keighley are doing a big event also on Sunday. So this week is gonna have a lot of video game coverage, y'all. So I hope you're okay with that. But it was just confirmed today we are getting our first look at the 007 James Bond game developed by IO Interactive on Friday, and I am so excited for this, right? Especially with the studio behind it. The studio behind it, for those of y'all that don't know, made the Hitman World of Assassination trilogy, which, if you guys don't know, those games, like, obviously you're killing people and you're not a spy, but those games are basically like if you're playing James Bond without the gadgets and stuff. The versatility in those games is insane. Like, you can like, there's 17 ways how to take people out in that game, and it's so replayable and stuff like that. And I'm hoping for 007 they have a bigger focus on narrative, and they have a bigger focus on, like, action set pieces, because when you watch a James Bond movie, doesn't matter what James Bond it is, doesn't matter if it's Daniel Craig, doesn't matter if it's Pierce Brosnan, doesn't matter if it's any other James Bond. Bruh, like you want to see him be suave, you want to see him kick some ass, and when you're playing as James Bond, you want that James Bond, like, that we all love, right? And this James Bond, y'all, like, they've already said, like, even though we don't know a lot about this game, they've already said that this James Bond is specifically designed for the video games. So, like, you guys know how much I love Insomniac's take on Spider-Man. If they can do what Insomniac did for Spider-Man and making it my favorite take of Spider-Man of all time, yes, the Insomniac Spider-Man is my favorite take on Spider-Man of all time. If they can do that for James Bond, if IO Interactive can do that for James Bond, I would be extremely happy, right? Like, because if you look at it, right, like, we've gotten a few, like, GoldenEye, and we've gotten a few, but we haven't got, like, a true AAA James Bond game in a while, right? And this studio is perfect for it. Can you imagine, like, your James Bond, whoever, and we'll talk about who I think would be great to play James Bond. It could just be a voice actor, but I don't know. Like, I have a wild prediction that I don't think it's going to happen, but if it does, I will be very happy. And it's also who I want James Bond to be played by in the movie. So if it doesn't happen in the video game, I hope he gets to play James Bond in the trilogy of movies or whatever Amazon is planning to do with James Bond. So, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Can you imagine, though, you're walking around as James Bond and you're tasked with, I don't know, stealing a drive back from whoever the villain is, right? Because apparently, like, this is also, like, James Bond's origin story, right? Like, it's called First Light, and IO Interactive wants to do a trilogy if the James Bond game is successful, right? So, and we don't have much on it yet. Like, I'm just speculating here, but can you imagine if you're walking around as James Bond and you have like gadgets and all that, and then you have like it tasks you with with stealing codes for a missile or something like that, and you have like gadgets and you have your gun obviously, and you can take people down like stealthily, or you can go in guns blazing and 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 uh and then you also have like driving sections where you're driving and chasing somebody or trying to get away from somebody. Can you just imagine how good this game will be? Now, who do I want to play James Bond? Now, in this video game trilogy, let's just call it a trilogy because that's what they want to do. Now, it could just be a video game voice actor, which would be fine, right? Which would be fine, right? Right? But I have a great idea, and I also want this guy. If he doesn't get this role in the video game, I also want him to play James Bond in the movies. Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill as James Bond would be insane. Like, even if you voice James Bond, we would still get Cavill as Bond, bro. Like, you guys know I love Henry Cavill, right? You guys know that. Henry Cavill as James Bond in this video game would be insane. But, because I obviously think it's going to be somebody British. So, like, even though Troy Baker could do a British accent, right? I don't think it's going to be Troy Baker. I don't think it's going to be, I think it's going to be somebody British, like, Ben Starr would be a great Bond. If you don't know who that is, Ben Starr is the guy who voices what's the dude's name? He voices the lead protagonist in Final Fantasy 16, and or Raul Coley, I think that's how you pronounce his name. He's gonna be the main protagonist in Sorrows, the next game from Housemarque. But yeah, like, I don't know how big they're willing to go, because you guys know, like, there's a rumor, and I'm gonna do like my predictions for Summer Game Fest and the Xbox Games Showcase later this week. But there's a rumor that Neil Patrick Harris is gonna be playing Deadpool in a Deadpool video game that gets announced this week. And so you guys never know who they could have gotten to play James Bond, right? In this video game trilogy. But bro, like, can you just imagine for a second, like, you're James Bond, you're sneaking around, you're packing things, you're, like, depending on what era it's take place in, alright? Like, if it's modern day, which, I think it will be modern day, but if it's modern day, like, you have all the technology of today, and you have, like, certain gadgets that you can use, and you can show, you can disguise your face, you can like throw out, I don't know, like lures, you can throw out, like, I don't know, dude. It depends on where it's set and how experienced this James Bond is, right? And yeah, like, for me, you guys should know by now, I hope we get gameplay on Friday. And again, I will be doing my predictions for Summer Game Fest later this week, and because it's only Monday, I'm probably gonna do that on Tuesday or Wednesday, and then my predictions for the Xbox Game Showcase, which is usually the Xbox Game Showcase is the best show of the gaming summer. We'll see if that continues to be true, because we've had it for the last 3 years, in my opinion. But yeah, if Jeff has, like, massive things like Wolverine, Ghost of Yotei, James Bond, Tomb Raider, a Deadpool game, Marvel Hydra 18, the Captain America Black Panther game, then we'll see who takes it on top. And we're not even talking about Sony yet, because they haven't confirmed their event for the summer. But, bro, like, I'm just so excited for this James Bond game, like, and I'm glad we're gonna get to see something from it on, Friday. And, yeah, like, for me, like, this studio's, pedigree is amazing. So, I have strong faith that they will, deliver on this game and stuff like that. And yeah, so and stay tuned, y'all, for my predictions for Summer Game Fest 2025 and Xbox Game Showcase 2025. And yeah, and any other events that get announced, like a Sony event. And even though I'm not gonna get the Switch 2, as I said, if they do like another big event, I will cover it for you guys, because I think in terms of the marketing of the Switch 2, it was marketed perfectly. I'm not going to get the Switch 2 because, again, I have both consoles. Both big boy consoles, which are Xbox and PlayStation. And I made a vow to myself, as long as I'm able to, and as long as I have, as long as I'm able to, I will buy both consoles for every console generation going forward that I can, right? So I'll get the next PS6 and the whatever the next Xbox is called, and so forth and so forth, right? So yeah, but I'm just excited for this weekend gaming, bro. Like June is a great month for me personally, because we got next week is gonna be fire for me, because next week we got Mind's Eye coming out, which, thank you for all the support on that video. I wasn't expecting all that support to come through on that video. Next week we got Mind's Eye coming out, and then more importantly, your boy is going to King Kendrick next week. Yes! Your boy is going to the Grand National Tour next week. So these 2 weeks, like, this week I have all the gaming events, and next week I'm going to King Kendrick. I'm gonna be lit. Like, this month is lit. And it's 5 weeks until your boy's birthday. So, yeah, I'm turning 23 on July 8th. So I am having a really, really, really good month so far. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And what do you guys want from the James Bond game? What do you guys want? And because I've given you what I want. And yeah, thank you so much for all your support. And I hope you have a great day. And goodbye.